I've been asking for a Predator film for a long time. I know we've had a good few Predator films over the past few decades. From the AVP series, which wasn't really a Predator film, it was more of a crossover, to the Predators, which technically was a Predator film, but it was more of a rehash of the original film, like almost word for word, beat for beat, the original, so not counting that. And then there was a god awful The Predator. In the simplest terms, none of these films did it for me. All I wanted was a kind of horror action film about an alien that hunts people. Is that actually too much to ask for? Well, for the longest time, aye, it was. Prey came out in 2022 on Disney of all places. It was directed by Dan Trachtenberg. It was directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Did we get it right? I think so. And starred Amber Midthunder as Naru, a Comanche woman training to be a healer. But her true goal was to become a hunter, just like her brother, Tabe. I know I'm butchering these names. So here is them saying the name in the film.
Tabe.
Who was played by Dakota Beavers. Naru is the first to actually notice something strange in the sky. It's a predator ship dropping off the feral predator as it begins its hunt. In this Comanche tribe, to become a hunter, Naru must kill an animal that can kill her. Can you guess where this might end up going? After a series of unfortunate events of Naru trying to hunt a lion and it not really going quite well, she ends up going looking for the predator because she knows there's something weird going on. Not really knowing what she's getting herself into though. And ends up in the crossfire between the predator and French trappers hunting buffalo and stuff. One thing leads to another and she has to find a way to deal with the French and this 8-foot killing machine alien thing. One thing I've been screaming about when it comes to a Predator film is Kiss. Keep the story simple, stupid. Wait, that doesn't seem right. What's bothered me about some of the other Predator films over the past few decades is the narrative always seems to be oddly complicated. From AVP making the Predators hunt back in Aztec times and being the supreme creators that showed us how to build so that they could hunt aliens. It doesn't fit with a bunch of lore timeline stuff. Really screws with things. Then to The Predator, where the whole crux of the story is based around the Predators needing our DNA. It's why they take our spines, because they need our DNA so they can change themselves to adapt to Earth's climate, which is already too complicated. But the kicker is, they don't want to come to Earth until we've all died off of global warming. So the planet would be the conditions that the predators like to live in already on their own planet. Prey, on the other hand, has a beautifully simple story. Naru is trying to prove herself that she's more than just a healer. And I really like how they treat this storyline because the guys in her tribe are condescending and dismissive of her. But they never come across incompetent or stupid to make Naru seem stronger. She's just intelligent and does things her own way. She sees the situation unfold, but is basically ignored by everyone else. Except her brother, who truly does believe in her. Outside of him saving her at the start and basically going, well, I did save you, so maybe you're not quite ready to be a hunter. Ooh, that's a low blow. After all of this, Naru's goal leads her down the path to finding the predator, as she really does believe there's something else going on. And what's really cool about this, and what I truly love about it, because it sets up the kind of horror aspects of it, that is she knows she can't kill it in a one-on-one fight. She uses what she has in spades. Her street smarts, well, forest smarts? Saved it. At one point in the film, Naru gives someone this medicine to help them with the pain and bleeding and all the other shenanigans of, losing a leg. But in doing so, it makes the person freezing cold. And at that moment, she goes and has a wee hidey hide as the predator shows up, and she realizes right there and then that the predator actually couldn't see the person after taking the medicine. You know, nice little organic way to show a weakness of the predator, a way for her to find a way to counteract some of his strengths. Very organic, very demure. We like it. Unlike you, Mr. Brody. Where did that mud come from? You tell me. Is it because you're fast? This development with the medicine gives us the tools to level the playing field, and we get a pretty badass fight with her, her brother, and the predator, where eventually she kills it and becomes a war chief of her clan, a hunter of the baddest, ugliest mother. This is all I ever wanted in a predator story. Follow such a simple path. It's about humans and their stories, and the predator just happens to be in the middle of it. Prey took a leaf out of the last few predator films and introduced a new race of predators. This one is known as the feral predator. I really dig the look of this one. It feels like a Yautja. That is what the predator race is actually called, Yautja. Yeah, don't know if that was a good look for me there. Anyway, this version feels like a predator. It's bigger than humans, but it's slender, built for hunting. It's really good to see the design going back to its roots, especially with the armor. One of the things I loved about the OG Predator was, even though they were very tech savvy and high techy and space ferrying aliens, their armor and weapons felt really primitive with like a touch of technology added in. It made them unique. Outside of the plasma cannon, you know, like there's no that's full on sci-fi weapon right there. But outside of that, it was all basically hand-to-hand combat. A good challenge. Because that's what Predator wants. A good challenge. Well, actually, except from the whole infrared vision thing, you know, and being able to go invisible. Wee bit of cheating there, big chaps. But I love the bending of sci-fi with old style weapons, and the feral predator was the best example of this. He's got the arm blade thing, classic. He's got his spear, which can turn into two spear things, which is really cool. And the net, which is I love to see back. Every now and then we get a wee shot of the net, but the net's always looked the best in Predator 2. And now this one has the same kind of brutality to it. Love it. But what puts this guy above and beyond, for me at least, is that he doesn't use a plasma caster. He's got this bolt launcher thing, and my god, it's so good. It fixes something that always kind of bothered me with the Predator, which is a Predator can genuinely just sit in a tree, invisible, and kill everything. No reloading, no nada, just plasma caster, everything. But this guy gets 3 shots. If he misses, well, he better get ready to scrap. Oh, yes, and he's also got a shield. Shield's pretty cool. And another thing, this Predator doesn't feel invincible. Oh, which leads me nicely onto... This is the best Predator film for action. Hands down, I'm going to say it, it is the best one. I love the fighting through this film, but before I get into the Predator's fighting style, I need to fawn over how Naru and her brother fight throughout this film. Not each other. Against other things. It brings this almost Hong Kong action to the film that by all rights it didn't need. Well, it does. And I want more of it. A brilliant moment, spoilers by the way, for a 4-year-old film, is when Naru and her brother fight the Predator. And it has this sense of, we can fight it and maybe win without making the Predator look daft or weak. Well, Predator does look daft, but that comes a bit later in the film. But aye, that fight shows something that all Predator films need to do more. It shows us hurting the Predator. Watching Naru and her brother actually hold their own, I was like, get in there. It really shows that our ability to work together is what gives her our strengths over something that could rip us apart. The end fight shows so much of Naru's development as a character and as a hunter. She figured out how to hide from the Predator and then eventually lays a trap for it. It's a really good moment because it shows that the Predator isn't indestructible, but it is bloody resilient and powerful as heck. So let's talk about this Predator's fighting style. All Predators up to this point have been cunning, stealthy, true big game hunters. Well, not this lad. He's a head case who just wants to fight. The whole film felt like he was genuinely just looking for a good fight and not really on a hunt. Think of the ending of the original Predator. Bear with me. I'm going somewhere with this. So at the end of Predator, I'm going to have a little tangent, actually. Please just name your films the film with a number, because Predator is the worst franchise for us. So you've got Predator, Predator 2, then you've got Predators, then you've got The Predator, and now you've got Prey. At least Prey's a different name, but see all the other ones, you have no idea the order that should be in, and then it gets very confusing when I talk about it. So yeah, Predator, Predator 2, Predator 3, Predator 4. Very simple. I like it. Easy to digest. Anyway, I kind of lost the point of what I was talking about. So at the end of Predator, the titular Predator, after hunting all of Dutch's guys off one by one, gets a bit outsmarted by Dutch, and once catches up to him and decides, you know what, square go, mate. Now, take that moment, distill it down, and then decide that's the whole personality of this Predator from Prey. It doesn't matter what it is, he just wants to fight. And do you know what? I kind of love it. It goes against a lot of the Predator mythos and lore, but man, it made the film fun. It gives this Predator its own unique personality. You see it in the way it fights. It just wants to rip and tear things apart, which makes sense for how it ends up so injured as the film goes on, because it just wants to get amongst it. Now, this is a near perfect Predator film, but there were a couple of wee things that annoyed me. Mostly to do how it dies at the end. It kills itself with its own bolt gun. I don't know, it just comes across a wee bit meh. Honestly, if Naru just planted her axe in it at the end, I would have been so on board. It would have just wrapped up that whole thing perfectly. And actually, that's really it. Nothing else really stood out to me. I was going to go on about how I was not really a big fan of this Predator's face, but I'm liking the fact that they're introducing new Predators and getting creative with their design. It's really cool to see them experiment with it. Like, I'm a Stan Winston fanboy. That original design is peak, but I do like seeing creative people try and push the boat. After my wee rewatch of this, I do truly think it's the best Predator film since the original. I may even go out on a limb. As of this moment, it might be my favourite Predator film. Oh, that's a tough thing to say. I do understand that it'll probably never go down in pop culture history like the original. Because, come on, that film made this stuff up and it birthed something so massive. But Prey is my favourite Predator film right now, and it done more than redeemed the franchise. It brought it back to life.